everyone, and welcome to Lovella's Coloring. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you're all doing well. In this video, I will be sharing with you part 3 of all of my completed colorings in my collection. So in this batch, all of the books that I was able to fit in a box, I am going to be sharing with you colorings from my Disney collection and then colorings from my coloring books from Japan, from Korea, and China. I do have smaller size books from both my Asian coloring books and also my Disney books, but I decided to just separate those and share those in another video where I'm going to share all of my smaller sized coloring books. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm not sure how long this video is going to take, so grab a drink or a snack and relax and enjoy. I'll be back in a second. So I thought I would go ahead and start off with my Disney books. This is the Disney Vitralis by Hachette Heroes. The Disney Vitralis is the Spanish version of the French book, which is called Disney Vitro. There is no difference. This one is just in Spanish. So the first page I colored in here was the title page with the Cheshire Cat, and I colored this with the Colleen colored pencils, the 120 set. And then the next one I colored is this octopus. I forgot what his name was, but he's from the Disney movie Finding Dory. And for this page I used the Faber-Castell Gold Faber. Works really nice paper. And I have one more in here. And in this page with Pooh, Piglet, and Roo, I used the Colleen colored pencils. And in this portion of the background, I used the Derwent Inktense. And it does really good with water-based mediums. Water-based markers are also good. It doesn't go through as long as you don't soak the paper. So yeah, so those are my colorings and the Disney Vitralis, also known as Disney Vitro by Hachette Heroes. My next book is Disney Vitro, Tome 2 by Hachette Heroes. This is the French version and the second book. I have one coloring in here, which is this page. I forgot what her name was, but she's from The Emperor's New Groove. I believe that's what the title is. So I did this page as a buddy color with T from T's World of Adult Coloring. I based this with the Tombow dual brush markers. They are water-based markers. And then on top of that, I used the Mitsubishi Uni colored pencils. So very nice. And then you can see it doesn't seep through with the water-based markers. And yeah, so that's my completed page in Disney Vitro Tome 2 by Hachette Heroes. Next I have Disney Le Grand Classique Art Deco by Hachette Hero, and I have one completed coloring in here. I cannot remember what his name is or if he had a name, but he is from Tangled, and so I used the colors from Rapunzel's dress to color in areas in this page. So for this one, I based it all with the Tombow dual brush markers. They are a water-based marker again, and it did shadow a little in this book. It may have been because it's a darker color, and then also I may have went over it a little bit too much while it was still wet. And on top of it, I used the Cezanne colored pencils. So that is my completed coloring in the Disney Le Grand Classique Art Deco by Hachette Hero. Next, I have the Le Grand Classique Art Deco Tome 2, that is book 2 by Hachette Hero. And I have one completed coloring in this book too, which is the Tinkerbell page with her sister. I really like this page. I think the black background really kind of makes them pop. So the black portion is black Posca. The blue portion of the background is with the Muñoz soft pastel. Everything is colored in with the Caran d'Ache Pablos. I also use white Posca on the wing, and all the glitters are the Sakura Stardust Jelly Roll Pens. And then I also use the Tombow Dual Brush Marker to add the little dots on their wings. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I love this page. So this is Tinkerbell and her sister. I can't remember what her name is. From the Disney Le Grand Classique Art Deco Tome 2 by Hachette Hero. Next, I have the Disney Le Grand Classique by Hachette Hero, the Coloriage Mystère, which is the French color by number coloring books. And I have two colorings in here, both done with colored pencils. So the first one is the Tinkerbell page, and I colored this one with Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, and then on top I used the Gamsol. The black outline is done with black Posca. The white outline and the circles and the white areas were filled in with the white Posca. And I really like using pencils for this book. I like to blend the colors a little bit. Same right over here, you can see I blended the colors, and on this page I used the Holbein Artist colored pencils, and then for the black outlines I used the black Sakura Pigma brush, which is a water-based pen, and then for the white areas I did put white Posca on top. Yeah, so those are my two colorings in the Le Grand Classique Disney Hachette Heroes Coloriage Mystère. This is book 1. Next, I have Disney Le Grand Classique Tome 3. That is book 3 of this series of Coloriage Mystère. And I have a couple pages in here colored, done all with colored pencils. The ones I used were the Prismacolor Premier, and then I used Gamsol to smooth it out. The black outline is done with the Sakura Pigma brush pen, and then the snowflakes on her hair, I used the Sakura Stardust, and then on her eyeshadow I used the Zig Wink of Stella glitter brush pen, and I think I also used it on her lips, but it's like it rubbed out, so it's not that much. But yeah, so this is my Elsa and my Anna from Disney Le Grand Classique Tome 3. Next, I have the Disney Princesses Coloriage Mystère by Hachette Hero. And on this one, I colored recently, can't remember, a couple months ago, I think, which is this Snow White. I did this as a buddy color with Amanda. And for this page, again, I used Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, and then also the Caran d'Ache Luminance. The only thing different with this page is that I didn't use any Gamsol. I blended it just with the pencils. And I also used the Tombow dual brush markers for, I think, the black, the lining on her dress, and on her hair. Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing this page. You can see all my scribbles for each of the colors. Yeah, I did this in January. So this is my completed coloring in the Disney Princesses Coloriage Mystère by Hachette Heroes. My next book is the Disney Babies Circles Magiques. So It's color by numbers, Coloriage Mysteres, but with circles. And I did a couple of pages in here. So the first 2 pages, so this is Baby Lady from Lady and the Tramp. And with this page, I used the Crayola colored pencils. You can see it's not as vibrant as using the Prismacolor colored pencils, but it was a lot of fun doing this page. And this one is not my favorite, but I did it anyways. I used Arteza Twine markers, Crayola Super Tips, and then the background, since there was like just so much, I used Neocolor 2s. And then I think I have one more in here, which is Pinocchio. And this page I used the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils and no Gamsol to smooth it out or anything. Very cute. So this is my pages completed in the Disney Babies Circles Magique Coloriage Mystère. My next book is the Star Wars Color by Number, and this is by Disney Lucas Press. This is not the French version, it's the the American version. So the paper in this book is so much different. Let me see. Here's that one. It's thin, thinner than what you'd find in the French books. So here, you can hear how thick that is. If you're to listen to this one, very thin. So I have a very small whip in this book. I was trying out to see what I can use and if it would go through or shadow or anything like that. So it is the first page, which is this one. I wanted to see using water-based markers. I think I wasn't happy with it, and it was shadowing, so I knew that to color one side of it, I'm not gonna like it. So you can see it right over here. So I decided for this page I'm gonna complete it but just use the alcohol markers, and then for any of the other page either just pick one side to color or color it in with colored pencils or maybe just crayons or something like that. So this is the Star Wars Color by Number by Lucasfilms and Disney. Next, I have the Disney Mosaics Art Therapy by Hachette Heroes. I have one completed coloring in here, which is Cinderella and her fairy godmother. So for this page, I used the Black Widow colored pencils. The light blue portion of the background is done with the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Pearl colors. And then the lines are done with silver Uniball Signal gel pens. Yeah, so this is my completed coloring in the Disney Mosaics by Hachette Hero. My next book is The Art of Coloring Disney Beauty and the Beast. This is the US Disney Editions coloring book, and it's based off of the live action movie. I just did a page as a test, trying out the Neocolor 2s on this paper. The paper comes out flat, after it's been like flattened for a while, but the only thing for me is that it does bleed through, or not bleed, but shadow a lot on the back. But in this book there is so much wallpaper. So I've been debating whether I should keep this book or not, or maybe I'll just go in here with markers. But they do have like doubles of images, so I'm going to have to just check throughout this book which one has the doubles and then color one of them. So yeah, so this one is the Disney Beauty and the Beast, The Art of Coloring by Disney Editions. Here I have the Disney Princess Tales to Finish Color Your Own Storybook Collection. I only have a whip in here. I think I've done this like years ago. Started off with the Crayola colored pencils and I wasn't liking how it was going, so I may erase it and start over again using a different brand of colored pencils. But yeah, that's all I did in this book. This is the Disney Princess Tales to Finish Color Your Own Storybook Collection. My next book is the Disney Mickey Mouse Memories coloring book. This is by Bendon, and I have one completed coloring in here, which was for Mickey Mouse's birthday, I think. Either last year or 2 years ago. So with this page, I just colored it with the Lemouche markers, shaded it with those markers too. The background is done with the Gansai Tambi Starry set and also with the Paul Rubin pearlescent watercolors. And then you can see it just shining with the light against it. On the border, I do have a little bit of gold Posca just going around. And yeah, so that is my completed coloring in the Disney Mickey Mouse Memories coloring book by Bendon. My next one is this Disney Animators Collection book. It came with the colored pencils, and that's what I used to color in this page. It's like a coloring pad. It has like 3 duplicates of the illustration, and it's kind of like a plasticky kind of feel of pencils. It has a texture on it, and it's, if you can see it. But yeah, so this one is my completed page in this book. This is Pocahontas with the raccoon. I forgot what his name was. And yeah, so that's my completed page in the Disney Animators Collection. My next coloring is in the Disney Grand Classique Carré Mystère by Hachette Hero. This is a French color by number coloring book, and I think on this one I have one, which is Lilo and Stitch. And I believe my son picked this page out for me to color. With this one, what did I use? I used Tombows to color in this page, and I think one of the colors was a Crayola Super Tip. So that's my completed coloring in the Disney Grand Classique Carré Mystère by Hachette Hero. I have another color by number book by Hachette Heroes. This is Disney Princesses and Fées or Fairies Carré Mystère. And my first coloring in here is the Snow White. And this is my first page that I did in this type of color by number book. And please excuse all the laughing in the background. Those are my daughters home from spring break. And so this page I colored in with Super Tips, and you can see that I have this dark area right over here. I was trying out the Super Tips, trying to see how I want to color this page, and I was trying to go like up and down, or just trying to color each row, and I find that I don't color straight that way, and I wasn't liking how it was looking, so I ended up coloring each and every block instead. And then I also used pencils on this page. For her skin, I used the Crayola colored pencils. So that is my Snow White. And then I switched it. I started doing the crisscross method or the X method. On both of these pages, I used the Tombow dual brush markers. So I have Snow White on this page, have Cinderella here, Cinderella on this page again with the crisscross, and then here is Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, also with the Tombow dual brush markers, and then one more of Aurora. You can see the through the camera I can see the castle, but if I look at the page by itself, it like kind of like blends in, but I really like how it looks. And yeah, those are my daughters in the background. I apologize. And then I went back and started coloring each and every block. So this is Tinkerbell, and I use both the Tombow dual brush markers and the Crayola Crayola super tips. Then I colored one more, and I believe I used the same Crayola and Tombow, and I can't remember her name. Is it Rosita? I believe this is Rosita. Yeah. So again, Tombow and super tips. So those are my completed colorings in the Disney Princess and Fairies Carré Mystère by Hachette Heroes. I have one more Carré Mystère coloring book by Hachette Heroes. This is the Disney Babies. And then here I was again seeing if I can just do small sections. This is all done with a Crayola super tips, and I think I also used another water-based marker on here. It starts with an R. Riancy, I believe, is the brand. And then again I went and started doing the X method, and these two were colored in with the Tombow dual brush markers. We have Eeyore and Piglet, Baby Mickey. This one is, I guess, it's called the dot method in each of the cubes. This one I use the Crayola super tips to fill it in or do the dots. So we have Boo, we have the Lion King, Simba, forgot his name, and is that all? I believe it is. So those are my completed colorings in the Disney Babies Carré Mystère by Hachette Hero. My next one is the Disney Dreams Collection Original Art by Thomas Kincaid coloring book. I have one completed coloring in here, which is the Alice in Wonderland page. And here we'll have Thomas Kincaid's version and then my version right over here. So this page was pretty much colored in with Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. I did use Arteza gouache on the trees and on the flowers, white Posca, beige Posca on her skin. I did use a little bit of the Tombow dual brush marker to cover up the whiteness of the white Posca for the hills in the background right over here. And I also used Sakura white gel pen. But yeah, this page scared me so much, but it was a fun challenge to just get over and do. I think this area, the water, was kind of iffy for me, so I just picked out colors like that I can see from Thomas Kincaid's version, add it here, and then just kind of like smear it with the colors for the water. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. It'll be a while for me to come back to this book. So this one is the Disney Dreams Collection Original Art by Thomas Kincaid coloring book. I have one more Disney coloring book to share with you. This is the Disney Princess coloring book by Thomas Kincaid, and I have one completed coloring in here, which is this page. And again, we have Thomas Kincaid's version here, and this is my coloring on the right side. So I again used the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. It was a lot of fun coloring this one in. Again, it was challenging and scary, but it does help a lot that we have Thomas Kincaid's version on here, so it helps me to pick the colors to use to color in the page. So again, Prismacolor Premier for this whole page. I also used white Posca. I also used two different brands of paint pens. I used the Ohuhu and the Tuli Art. When I first used them, they were a lot of fun to use. So all these little dots for the brushes, for the trees, those are done with the paint pens, the Tuli Art and the Ohuhu. Some of the green highlights that covers the black lines on her tail, and back here too, that's all paint pens. And the only thing with those paint pens is that over time it gets harder and harder to thicken up to reuse again, so you'd have to shake it so much just so that it's opaque. And yeah, for me the Posca brand is a lot better, but they are a lot more expensive, especially to get the thinner tip or smaller tip. But anyways, yeah, it was a lot of fun coloring this. It's just very challenging. I was trying to follow what he did on this part of the water, trying to replicate it on this side. But yeah, I'm just happy that I got it done. Really love how it looks. So this is my completed coloring in the Disney Princess Coloring Book by Thomas Kincaid. Now I'm going to share with you all of my Japanese coloring books. Let me go ahead and zoom you in a little bit. So these again are the books that I have completed colorings or whips. So this is the Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanako Egusa. There is going to be a US version coming out soon. Just check out Amazon.com and put in Kanako Egusa or Symphony of Cute Animals and it should pop up. I do have a double page spread in here that I completed. And so with this whole page, I used the Black Widow sets to color it in. The night sky is done with acrylic paint. So I think it was blue and black together to make kind of like a navy blue color in the back. And then splatter of white acrylic paint. I also used white Posca and white Sakura gel pens. I used silver Posca and also the Sakura Stardust. So yeah, lots of fun coloring this page in. It was for a color along and then also for Christmas a couple of years ago. So these are my completed pages in the Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanako Egusa. Okay, next I have the Girls Coloring Book, and this is by Yuka Sato. I have one completed coloring in here, which is this beautiful summer page. So much fun. So this page I colored in with Colleen colored pencils. And yeah, pretty much all of it's Colleen colored pencils. I did add a little bit of metallic on her bow, on her jewelry, I think on the sandals. I also used the Sakura Stardust on the sign. Not so much embellishments anywhere in this page, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is my one completed coloring in the Girls Coloring Book by Yuka Sato. My next coloring is in Color Me, and this is by Yusuke Nakamura. I have one completed coloring in here, which is the Safari page. And for this page, I used the Caran d'Ache Pablo's Tombow Eroji 10. They were hard pencils that kept a sharp point because these were very small details coloring it in, but it was a lot of fun. And I also used the Uniball Signal white gel pen, and then for the background portion I used the Sakura Kopi crayons, which is a Japanese brand of crayons. Yeah, so that is my completed coloring in Color Me by Yusuke Nakamura. Next I have Kameichido Fantastic Zoo Adult Coloring Book. Kameichido is the artist of this book, and I have one completed coloring in here, which is this one with very, very pale colors. This was colored in with the Felissimo Tokyo Seeds pencil set called Bliss. And then I also used the Sakura Stardust Jelly Roll for the snowflakes that I added to this page. So yeah, super, super cute, but very, very pale and pretty colors. So that is my completed page in the Kameichido Fantastic Zoo Adult Coloring Book. My next coloring is in the Fantasy Season Coloring Book. This is by Yukako Onde, and I did the title page. And this was done in 2017, February 2017. So the background is done with the Munyo Soft Pastel, and I believe I was trying out water-based mediums on this page. So this one was colored in with the Derwent Inktense. And then after doing that, I decided not to use any water-based mediums in this book because it did shadow a bit for me. Going through a little bit on here. So yeah, so that is my first completed page in this book, and I have one more, which is this one, a Valentine's Day page. And this one was done again in 2017, also February. So this page was colored in with the Mitsubishi Uni colored pencils and the Munyo Soft Pastels in the background, a little bit of white Posca on the balloons. But very cute page. So these are my completed colorings in the Fantasy Seasons Coloring Book by Yukako Onde. My next book is the Disney Girls Coloring Book Special Edition. I only have one page colored in here, and it's a title page. I colored this with the Tombow Eroshiten, and I believe it's that's because I was trying out the pencils and I first got it. I finished this in December 2016. It was like a long time ago, but I haven't done anything else in here. It's such a cute book. I really need to get back in here. So that is my completed coloring in the Disney Girls Coloring Book Special Edition. Next, I have a coloring book by Erie. This is the Tracing Around the World Festivals. This is her second book of that series, and the page I colored in here is this one, which I do have I think a video showing how I colored in this page. The background is done with the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer. I use Prismacolor Premier colored pencils and Holbein Artist colored pencils. I also used a bit of white Posca and Zig Wink of Stella. I think right here, some glittery. I don't know if it's showing up. But yeah, very, very pretty. Because of the light lines, it does make it look very soft. So that is my completed page in the Tracing Around the World Festivals by Erie. Next, I have The Romantic Country, a fantasy coloring book by Erie. So this is her book 1 from this series. And I have these 2 pages. I think these were my first ones done in this book. I colored it with Prismacolor Premier colored pencils and then the Munyo Soft Pastels. and I did this back in November 2016. I don't date my pages that much, but it's fun to see it when I do. So I have a whip in here, which is this chapter double page spread. I used this section to share how I colored what are these called? Aurora Borealis, or the night sky. And these are the colors that I used. And if you want to get it from here, you can. But I'll also put up the link up above and down below, hopefully I remember, of the video sharing how I colored this portion in. And then I have one more, which is this vegetable garden. And in this page, I think I've done this like maybe also 2016 or 17. I followed Julie's passion for coloring here to color in this page. It's fun to do that, not have to worry about what colors to use, just see what she's using and then start coloring it in. So yeah, so these are my completed coloring from the Romantic Country, a fantasy coloring book by Erie. Next, I have the second book from the series of Romantic Country. This is the second tale, and again by Erie. And I have here is my completed coloring in this page. I did this as a buddy color with Sandra, who's known as Colorful Diary, and I forgot the rest of the numbers, but I'll put it up here. Hopefully I'll remember. But we both did this page, and so the background is done with black Posca. I used Castle Art colored pencils. I also have white Posca and Sakura Stardust, and also Aeon Art glitter gel pen somewhere in the details here. But yeah, I had a set color palette, so I used the greens in different areas, reds in different areas, tried to balance out the colors. So that is my first page to share with you. And this is just tracing paper. I also use gift wrapping tissue paper. I just cut that up also to fit in here. But if you're using like Posca or acrylic, it will stain your the opposite page. You can erase it, but still, to protect it, I put the tracing paper. And then I have a double page spread in here, which is this page. And for this one, I used Neo Colored 2s at first to base in this page. It's a lot of details, but it was a lot of fun. This is another buddy color with Sandra. And when I based it with Neo Colors, I was worried because in this paper, it kind of speckled. I didn't think I used that much water, and it didn't go through, but the only thing is that it speckled a little. So yeah, there was no problem about the water seeping through or shadowing or anything. It's just that it leaves little speckles. So I ended up just coloring it all in with the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. I have some Munoz soft pastel for the background, the sunset. I also used white and gold Posca as embellishments here and there, and also it says I used Black Widow, and I don't remember where I used that. so I used a little bit of Black Widow also. So this is my double page spread, and I believe I completed this either a couple months ago. Can't remember if last year in December or November or this year in January. But yeah, these are my completed colorings from Romantic Country, Second Tale by Erie. I have one more Japanese book, and also by Erie. This is the third tale of Romantic Country, so that's the third book of this series. I have one coloring in here, which is a Halloween page. And this one I did like several years ago, I can't remember when, but I used Neocolor 2 for the whole background and the trees and the pumpkins and the grass. Then I used Prismacolor Premier colored pencils to color it. You can see how swatchy it is. I don't know what happened, but it did not go through, which is very nice. I don't remember it speckling because it is darker colors, and I think I might have let it dry and then came back again to apply more colors. I also used a lot of Posca for the webs, for the signs that says trick or party or trick. And it looks like some gel pens for the whiskers. So that is my completed coloring in Romantic Country, The Third Tale, a fantasy coloring book by Erie. Next, I have my Korean coloring books where I have completed colorings in, and this is the Forest Girls coloring book by Apple. And I have one completed coloring in here, which is this one. And in this page, I used the Holbein Artist colored pencils. The background is with the Munoz soft pastels. I also used the Sakura White Jelly Roll for the white accents in this page. Very, very cute and soft. So that is my completed coloring in the Forest Girls coloring book by Apple. My next book is the this is called Girls Look Fashion, and I don't know who the illustrator is. Maybe it's one of these. And I have one completed coloring in here, which I did as a buddy color with Rita. And for this page, I did one with Holbeins and I did one with Black Widows. And I forgot which one I did. Oh, maybe not. I think I know which one. So this one here is done with the Holbeins. And I drew in the stripes for her shirt. And then on the right, I colored her with Black Widows. Super cute. Lots of cute outfits in this book. So this one, again, is the Girls Look Fashion. My next book is this one, which is Girls with Poem by Momo Girl. And I have this page here as a completed coloring. I colored this page with the Holbein Artist colored pencils, also the Caran d'Ache Luminance, which I believe I colored their skin. And then I also used washi tape. This is my first time doing like a washi tape for like a fabric, so I did it for the blanket, and it's kind of like messy in this areas, but from afar it doesn't look so bad. So this is my completed page in the Girls with Poem, by Momo Girl. I have one more Korean coloring book, another one by Momo Girl. This one is called Girls with Music, I believe. And the page I did in here is this one, which I also did as a buddy color. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, here. Color Me Spiffy with Courtney. So this page, I used several pencils. I used Prismacolor Premier, and I believe I used that for the background, the purple background. I also used Derwent Color Soft, Caran d'Ache Luminance. I used the luminance for her skin and for her hair. I know I colored her robe in with the Prismacolor. And then I also used lots of white Posca and Zig Wink of Stella on the bows. I also used some glitter gel pen, probably the Sakura Stardust, Sakura Metallic, and then also over here Sakura Metallic and Stardust. And then to add that little shine that you see on this area going around, that is the Mod Podge. Did I say it right? Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. And yeah, it makes it look a little bit more magical. So this is my completed coloring in the Girls with Music by Momo Girl. I now have a couple of Chinese coloring books. I only have 2 of them that I've colored in. This one, I thought it was called Love Sickness, but it's also translated to Lost You Forever. And I don't have a illustrator name for this book, but I believe I got this either on Amazon or on AliExpress. So I did this page, and this I did for Color Your Hoard when I first started to color along back in 2019. I did several videos of myself coloring this page in, so I'll leave a link up here if I can of the playlist for this page. And so I colored the background with Neocolor 2, colored his skin and I believe his hair with the Caran d'Ache Luminance. His outfit, especially the turquoise blue color, was done with the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. The glittery portion of his outfit, I used the Paul Rubin pearlescent watercolors. And then I use gouache for the smoky thing on this page, and then also white Posca. And I think I also use luminance maybe on the flowers. And looks like I have some gel pen there also. So yeah, so this is my completed coloring in this book. I think it's called Lost You Forever. I have one more coloring book to share with you for this video. It is the Chinese coloring book called Find Color, I believe, and it is by Gu Geli. And you may remember this page. I colored it as a buddy color and completed it, I think, a couple months ago. And so yeah, in this page I use many different mediums. I started off using watercolors to color the mountains and her hair, and I used the Boku Undo brand, and it's called Black Shadow, so it's like really dark tinted colors. So this was a greenish tint that I used for the mountains. I used a bluish tint for her hair, and then it wasn't dark enough, so I went over it with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush, and those kinds of brush pens. The tip isn't felt like the Tombow Dual Brush Marker. They actually have strands in them, so I was able to make it look like strands in her hair. I don't know if you can see it. It's dark. I also used the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer. I used that on her skin. I really wanted her to be pale, so just really minimal shading using the Faber-Castell Polychromos. And then for the rest of her with the dress and the flower, all the gold and red details, the green gems, that was all done with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens. And the paper in this book held up very, very well, especially with the red. It did not seep through or bleed through, because I went over it a couple times too. The red that you see over here was because I was using a plastic backing. And so when I was coloring this part, just trying to cover that, I accidentally pushed it up, so it kind of rubbed on this side, so it wasn't a bleed through. And what else? I also use white Posca for the clouds, and then the background, I used the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry Color. There is, I think, 2 different colors. I think I had a lighter shade in the background, and then I think it's more like a white gold, and then I used a different shade of gold from that Gansai Tambi Starry set to layer on top. But I really like how it shimmers. Very pretty page, and very happy with how it turned out. It was a lot of fun to color, especially with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush, because I don't use it that much, but they work beautifully in this page, in this book. So that is my completed coloring, and the last one I will share with you for part 3 of all of my completed coloring. So I think I'm going to have maybe 3 more videos sharing all of my completed colorings, but I think for my next video, for part 4, I'm going to put together all of my smaller sized coloring books, try to have them all tagged and labeled, ready to go, so I can record that one, get it out to you guys as soon as I can. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. So I'm sending you guys lots of love and hugs. Please take care, keep safe, and happy colorings, my friends. Bye bye.